All right, the dream is complete for the Black Stars of Ghana. Like they say, better late than never. Of course, they left it late. A draw will have seen them through, but they went a step further to get the victory against the Central African Republic. Central African Republic, I meant to say. Welcome to Nigeria's Fans. Of course, we'll be looking at a review of that game and, of course, a preview of Super Eagles clash against Sao Tome and Principe. That will be coming up on Sunday. So wherever you are joining us from in Ghana, I know it's a lot of excitement right now on the streets of Ghana, but so much work to do for Chris Otin with what the whole world saw yesterday. The performance, a lot of people said it's still far from convincing. So I welcome you wherever you are joining us from around the world. My name is Asha Ololuwafemi Kadogundare, and James Agberebi are here, and of course, we'll be talking about all the footballing stories on the continent today. Guys, you're welcome.
Thank you, Femi.
Thank you very much, Femi. Happy to be here.
Okay, James, I remember in our preview, you said it's going to be 2-1. I don't know whether you have some crystal balls around the corner of your room, but the prediction was right. But of course, we'll be getting to that. Let's talk about the Super Eagles game. Of course, yesterday, Sao Tome and Principe, the delegation came into the country in Uyo, and of course, they will be starting their preparation, of course, for that game today. But the Super Eagles, since Wednesday, it's been a full house. And Kayode, I'll start with you. We have a couple of new faces in the team invited by Pesero, the likes of Gift Orban, Victor Boniface, and Jordan, the Orban's teammate at Ghent, a defender. Would you be looking forward to seeing maybe a couple of new faces, even in the starting level? Or do you think Pesero might likely want to stick with his best level, like allowing Osimhen to spare the attack? Knowing fully well that he's the current top scorer in the qualifier with 7 goals, and we would love him to consolidate on that.
There are no special prizes for being top scorer. So if you're top scorer, although it's good for your ghost tally when you talk about keeping a record of how many goals you've scored in number of games you play. But I think whatever way you look at it, some people will tell you that this is like killing a fly with a sledgehammer, that already we're qualified. Even when we played with a less than full house, the first leg we won 10-0. Why would they go and bring all the professionals? And I say every match they play together makes the team gel more, a little bit extra. So for me, I don't see anything wrong in bringing these players. I think, and it's also good that we're seeing these new faces, Femi, because it's becoming very, very stale. Some people have begun to think this is the United Nations where you have permanent seats and permanent shirts. Nothing like that. So when you see new faces, it promotes competition. It promotes competition in the team, so nobody feels so secure that my place is solid. So for me, it's a good thing. I particularly want to see Boniface, Victor. I want to see. I'm intrigued by the attacking firepower that we have. I don't mind them. Everybody's playing a part in the game. If it's possible to score as many goals as they want, no problem. If they do not score that much, no problem. All I will be interested in is seeing how the players work together on the pitch. Sao Tome, admittedly, is not the kind of opposition to measure your strength by. No disrespect to them, but the fact that you're going to play together is something that should make us happy.
Okay, but we need to point out that the fact that some Nigerians called for the inclusion of MPFL players, but the league has not even commenced, and again it's been postponed. James, let's talk about that. The Nigeria Professional Football League, of course, in a letter by Dave Sinowumi, the chief operating officer of the league, about 2 days ago, said the league will be postponed again. Initially, it was meant to commence sometimes in August, then pushed to September 9th. Of course, Coyotes, 3SC, and Plateau were supposed to kick off the season, but now we are facing another postponement. We don't even know when it will start. And according to the content of that letter, Owumi said it is because of sponsorship. Of course, you will know that maybe those who want to bring money for the sponsorship haven't had the money yet. James, how or when are we going to get things right? For instance, the Bepa Premier League, the league will be starting on September 15, and you could see all the fixtures. Everything is in place. As a matter of fact, the GFA released a statement saying that only the teams playing on the continent will have their matches rescheduled, but all other things remains the same. James, when are we going to stop this?
I mean, I'm not surprised that the reason why the league is yet to start because no sponsor. Why would sponsors want to be part of the league? That's one to because all these guys they monitor, they follow events, they know what happens in our football. I mean, we also what the last sponsor what they went through. I mean, you don't want to put your money in something that you're not even sure of. You keep postponing the league or find the new board, the new board, regulatory body, right? Call them that. I think they've been trying their best to sanitize the league, but I don't think that's would be enough reasons yet for anybody to come in and pump in money. They want to be sure before they invest, their money in it. I mean, you can't blame them. Their money. They will make sure that everything is smooth. So that's what we've been saying. It all these things have been happening in the past. I know that one day it's going to continue to haunt us. And if you don't keep your house in order, if you don't clean up all the mess, the security issues, the beating up of referees, home team invading pitch, I mean, all these things, these are bad press for the league. Remember the other day, Okota said he rather watch the EPL than watch any Nigerian game live. All these things. So for me, it's sad that at the end of the day, we might end up having an abridged league because now the postponement is indefinite. There's no specific date for its resumption. After all the anticipation, we are looking forward to a new season. Everything at the end of the day, now they ended up postponing it. So for me, I don't know. I don't just know where to place this now because now the players will remain idle. And now, how are you going to stop a player from going to maybe a league like Cyprus or somewhere in the backwaters of Europe? I mean, are you going to? You can't stop players. You can't criticize them because when you are at home now and you cannot even play, you are training. You are not even playing any football. And I remember there was a time I listened to Ifeanyi Udeze on one of the radio stations. He said some of the players it's as if they go on getting things on credit because there's nothing. You're not playing, you're not getting paid, you're not doing anything. Say and when these guys want to travel to all this, even here in Africa, some of them when they go to maybe a place like Tanzania, you see people criticizing. Why wouldn't I go to a place like Tanzania where I know that my salary, everything is assured? So I think I don't know. Let's just hope that the delay won't be that long because you can't keep players waiting, just be training and nothing to show for it.
Okay, Kyle, let's talk about sponsorship. I know after the Super 6 here in Lagos, we saw another preseason. What is it called now? That we had a multi-choice and other companies sponsored. I think it's Super 8 or something like that. We saw massive turnout at the same Mobalaji Johnson Arena in Lagos, and the sponsorship we saw the level of sponsorship. I remember the person responsible for that competition, of course, had an interview with Michel Obi, and he talked about so much sponsorship that you could see people were ready to pay to come to the stadium. Kyle, what is the difference from what the private sectors do and what the league organizer or the board does now? Because like I said, it is a difference. You check the games, MPFL games, you see empty stand, but here we saw a private sector organizing like a form of preseason for the teams, and the whole stadium was almost jam-packed. What is the problem, Kyle?
To be honest, I think we are talking about two different things. But let me quickly say the difference is that is about accountability. The private sector knows that you have to be accountable for every kobo you are giving. You cannot just say we did we did miscellaneous, we did this, and you cover it with all sorts of BS. So that's the difference, number one. But then when you look, you cannot judge the entire league season with a one-off competition. It's unfair. Let's not mix apples and oranges. I would want to see if the company you talked about is able to find sponsors that will sponsor a 38-week league or a 20-week league or whatever the abridged format is, if that's what they choose to do again. But whether it's 28, whether it's 38 league or it's 18, the most important thing is you have to be accountable. One, you must have a product that is value driven, that people want to pay for. The league as it is now is not value driven. Number three, until government is ready to hands off financing clubs, it will be difficult for clubs to think outside the box to get. They are just like satisfied with getting government subvention. Anybody can do that. I mean, you don't need to be an administrator to know that, okay, when money comes, we are going to an away game. How much will it cost to buy bottled water? How much does it cost to reserve hotel accommodations and pay salaries? So you are not creative. Look at Remo Stars. Look at the infinite possibilities that they have to make money because it is private sector driven. But when you have Remo Stars, for example, and 3SC are government funded. They could choose to just like, oh, we know we are going to get 20 million from government. Let's plan on that 20 million. But because Remo Stars are a private entity, they do not know how much is coming in at the end of each month. So they have to make sure that they continuously think outside the box to make more money, so that they are able to spread it as much as they can. You see that Remo Stars stadium, I told you, I said, that stadium is going to continue to generate money for them, whether they play there or not until the end of time. But you find out that this will not happen in government establishments. So that's why I said, until we agree that we should have a 5-year period within which every state government will hands off funding their state clubs, then we are going to be in the same this thing, no creativity. Nobody will come and put money in that kind of a league where 17 or 18 of the leagues are government funded. They do not have the hunger of the private sector clubs to go out and look for sponsors and to be accountable. That's the key thing for me.
All right. Okay. So
I wish we had more time to talk about this, but that's just the synopsis of what I think.
Yeah, subsequently, we hope that we'll have time to talk about that. And the fact that maybe by next week, we will know when the 2023-2024 Premier League season will get started in Nigeria. No, even last season, it was an abridged league season, which though many people have clamored for, that it was very helpful to teams who have a shoelace budget, they wouldn't have to travel far and all that. But the IMC, I beg your pardon, has said that no, it's going to be a normal season. But in September, they do not even know when the normal season will get started. Okay, now let's cross the borders to Ghana now. James, yesterday, I don't know how you felt in the first half before that Mohamed could do a free kick. But Ghana starting that game on the back foot, what came to your mind?
Well, Femi, I wasn't surprised because, Central African Republic, they have something to lose in that game. They needed an outright win. So they expected them to come all out. And again, the Black Stars, injury worries, injury issues, and it was a pressure game for them. Forget the fact that they were playing at 2. It was a pressure game for the coach, for the players, everybody. It was a pressure. The good thing is they were able to come by. I told you that there was going to be goals. That we were going to, at the end of the day, it was going to end 2-1. But the good thing is the Black Stars had the opportunity of even still qualifying with a draw. But the good thing is at least they still went on to win. It's very, very important. I know a lot of people, the fans, the Ghanaian fans will still complain that the pattern of ball, I read some comments and especially when they considered the goal. I mean, the comments were just terrible. Terrible comments. So, but the good thing is they were able to rally back. The good is the qualifiers. We should expect things like it. The most important thing now is they've qualified. So it's now left for the team, the football body, everybody to sit down and analyze the team. Do a review of the qualifiers and think of ways to improve it. Not just because I know, I'm telling you now that some people will call for the head of the coach. That one is certain. They will call for the head of the coach some player, they will want some players to be kicked out of the team. That was typical fans' reaction. So for me, like I said, this game, especially a very tough game, but the good thing is they were able to come out tops. They won all their home games. The away games that the ones that they couldn't win, they were at least they were able to still get a draw. 3 wins, 3 draws. Not a bad ending for the qualifier. They topped the group. So it is what they should do now is build on this. It's not the Black Stars is not a totally bad team. I mean, they have good players. It's just for. And I hope the GFA, some of the officials will not start hearing things like when they go on air start saying all sorts.
Some slack, right?
During the qualifiers, they were saying terrible things. Just imagine that the team didn't qualify. I mean, I will wonder the kind of thing that we'll be hearing today. But the good thing is, I thank God they qualified. They're one of the top teams in Africa. You expect them to be at the AFCON because this is the beauty of the AFCON. No disrespect to other smaller teams. When you have the big guns, I mean, it brings it makes the competition interesting when you see big teams come up against each other. I want to see the big guns go at each other at the AFCON. So congratulations to the Black Stars. And I hope they're able to end this drought, this 41-year drought of not winning the AFCON. Tonight is it. I mean, Femi, that's just too long for a big team like the Black Stars.
Okay, so quickly we'll talk. Mame Kudus got that wonderful free kick to pull the Black Stars level before the end of the first half. And in second half, the newly on man, Ernest Wama, he made the difference, scoring that. And Antoine Semenyo, of course, he did a great job after he came on. But Lawrence Atisigi didn't have a great game because he mistimed the ball that led to CAR's goal. Kyle, let's talk about all through the qualifiers. Ghana didn't win any of their away games. They won all their home games. And that tells a lot about their capability, particularly even in the attack, but let's even leave that for another discussion. Now, to some extent, we can agree that Ghana they've qualified, so Chris Hughton will be at least cut some slack or let off some of the pressure now. But preparing for the tournament proper, Kyle, when you'll be facing the best of the best on the continent and, on a neutral ground, how much pressure do you think Chris Hughton would even be on at that time? When you have to win games, no second leg, it's just one game straight, and you're out of it.
A top team like Ghana, like Nigeria, Egypt, Morocco, do not have easy games. Whoever they play is always out for them. So, and when you play the qualification series, it's quite different from playing at the tournament proper. The dynamics are different. The temperament is different. The players come into it with a temperament that is different. You sometimes you hardly recognize these teams from the teams you saw in the qualifying series. Look at Ghana at the World Cup and compare them with the qualifying series before they barely managed to get across through to the World Cup. When they got there, you saw that they posted a pretty decent performance. Same thing with Morocco. Nobody thought they were going to go that far at the competition. Yeah, I'm not going to say Ghana have a perfect squad. Now, no country has a perfect squad. And they have a lot of work to do. I saw some of the game against Central African Republic. I think they were a little bit flat-footed. I think CAR could have gone ahead by 2 or 3 goals, but before Kudus pulled them back into the game. And if that had happened, it would have just compounded the pressure on the players and the coaching staff. And you could see the relief in their bodies after the game because they knew that they were sitting on the knife's edge. So I hope to see a better Ghana at the AFCON, or I hope to see a better team or for all the participating teams as a matter of fact. But I'm not going to judge this team yet until I see the kind of friendly games they get together. Because don't forget that under 18, they are just trying to get together again. People will tell you that Chris Hughton was there under Ado, but they are 2 different things. Being a part of the technical crew and being head of the technical crew are 2 different things. Now he is his own boss now. He has the team to himself now. He has his own idea of how he wants them to play. All these things will not come together in one game, Femi. It will not come together in one game. So they have to keep playing and ultimately up to the competition proper.
Okay, James, let's talk about the GFA elections now, because certainly the win over Central African Republic yesterday will put a lot of pressure off Dr. Koto Kraku. But the sad thing is the only opposition standing between him and the second time now, George Afriye, has been disqualified from the election, and that has raised a lot of uproar in Ghana. According to the committee vetting the candidate, they said George Afriye breached they say he breached Article 13(2) of J of the GFA statute, and his failure to provide a required number of members of the FA in support of his candidature. James, is this the normal politics playing out the way we do our things in Africa, or just the fact that he's an opposition to the boss?
Femi, we don't know whether Ashoruba we say you don't know or something. I don't know whether can use that.
You have to interpret that.
There's not it.
There's okay.
It's politics. It's politics, but we can't say whether some people pull some strings. But with politics, anything goes. But at least they came up with reasons why he won't be part of the race anymore. It stated out there that he went against some of the rules. So when you go against the rules,
sorry, James, sorry to cut in. Sorry, in 2019, he also contested against Dr. Krako. And this same George Afriye is the former vice chairman of the GFA. So he's not strange to the terrain at all. But also the question people are asking now is, would you say that he doesn't know some of these requirements, even when he became the vice president of the GFA?
Well, that's another angle to it. But if with especially this one now that's kind of knocked him off, if he doesn't come out to, I don't know whether he has the opportunity of, defending himself or, countering what they came up with. I mean, this is the second time again, the same thing. The people will say, oh, it's some strings that have been pulled. It's always difficult to remove the sitting the incumbent, So
in Africa,
maybe Kotukrako is playing his cards well. They are making sure they are doing all the. So for me, like I said, if according to what they said, he went against the rules, and he has no reaction to it. I mean, it's nobody's fault, and it's election, politics. Everything is, I don't know how they put it, everything is fair game or what, I don't know. So for me, the most important thing is
in love and war,
so for me, let's just see what happens. I don't know whether to say Kotukrako and his camp, they will be dancing now because it's a major position that have been sidelined. So what better way to to retain his seats, So I don't know if something will come up after this, but let's just see how things pans out.
Okay, we learned that he has, I think, about 3 days to appeal. Kayode, quickly, let's talk about it before we leave Ghana. Dr. Kotukrako will be standing, as it were, unopposed in the GFA elections, which will be taking place later this month. What does that portend for Ghana football?
I think it's the optics are not too good when you eliminate all oppositions. I would prefer you going to the elections and you win by a margin rather than you having no opposition, because it's not as if you have a sterling record of achievement in office. So, but rules are rules for me. If Afriye feels shortchanged, he should actually file a petition and see where it goes from there. But I know that he is not new to the rules. He should have known, but what, when people are bent on making sure that you do not succeed, they will find a way around it. They will find a way to stop you. I think that's what has happened here. I think so.
Okay. So let's talk about the AFCON qualifier now. So, of course, yesterday, Tanzania qualified from Group F. It was very, very surprising, of course, beating Niger and, of course, Uganda to that ticket. James, I'm sure you must have seen that news. So they will be the only East African country that will be going to Cote d'Ivoire next year. James, did that come as a surprise? Because when I saw Uganda, you will think that Uganda should qualify, normally behind Algeria, but now qualifying ahead of Uganda. But concerning Uganda, a debate has started on Twitter, on X, formerly known as Twitter, yesterday. Some Ugandans came up to say that Uganda does not have a befitting stadium to even host any of the matches, meaning that they've been playing most of their matches away. But let's talk about Tanzania. This is another a giant killer, so to say, qualifying for the AFCON?
I mean, I don't think there's much. If you check out that group, Niger, Uganda, apart from Algeria aside, Uganda, Tanzania, Niger, I don't think much difference. I think the only among the three, I think it's only Uganda that you can say okay in terms of because
that's what I'm saying. I think in terms of African football pedigree.
Yes, not if they've done anything major, you know. But Tanzania, their first AFCON was 1980. Honestly, yeah, their first AFCON
Yeah,
when they were in the same group with Nigeria.
Correct.
Before Emmanuel Amunike now qualified them for the 2019 edition. So this is their third edition. No, it's a good one for them, you know. So I think this is what one thing when we were talking about this regional qualification where you put the big teams on one side, then you put the small team on one side, you know. I mean, this is a group that they found themselves and they still managed to qualify, you know. So that's the thing. You don't just put everybody in the regions, especially in all this junior qualification, you know, put all this in, let them feel the heat. At least end your qualification, go through. We've seen surprises in the past. So don't come and start dissecting, start changing the whole setup. I went to go qualify for the World Cup. They stopped big teams. You know all this Angola to stop Nigeria from qualifying for the World Cup. So that's the beauty of all this. When you have all this, I think they will learn. They will keep improving. You know, when they go up against this bigger team. So congratulations to them. It's a good one. I saw the way they were celebrating. They were so happy. I mean, they know what they've gone through because it was a very dicey game. I didn't mean Algeria scored. But the way the Algerians played them, you would think it's a final because they held Algeria right there in Algeria. You know, so good one for them. It goes to show that they are improving. You know, so for me, I don't. Now the qualification is over. The AFCON is a totally different ball game. So I believe that they would have learned from their previous appearance, especially in the 2019 edition. You know, so let's just hope that they will put up a good performance. We saw what Madagascar did in 2019. They defeated the Super Eagles. They even qualified for the from the group stage. You know, so all these things, as long as they keep doing well, keep playing tough. At least we toughen them up. The likes of Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, they didn't get there by chance. They worked for it. So if you want to get to that, at a point, Nigeria was not one of the strongest teams in African football back then, especially in the 50s, 60s. The Nigerian national team was not that strong. You talk of Ghana, you talk of Egypt, talk of even Ethiopia, Sudan. Those are the strong teams then before the Super Eagles had to build. I mean, they call them the Green Eagles then. They had to build themselves, work hard, and got to where they are today. So everybody just have to earn your place, you know. So, like I said, congratulations to them. And let's just see that at the AFCON, they at least they'll be able to replicate what they did in the qualifiers at the tournament proper.
Okay, so 17 African countries have now qualified for the AFCON because yesterday Tanzania, then we also have Group J was concluded yesterday where Tunisia and Equatorial Guinea sealed their qualification. Unfortunately, there is no time, but I would have loved you to talk about CAF. There is a news going around saying that CAF is $100 million short in their budget. And I wanted to ask how that might likely affect some of the countries will be participating at next year's AFCON, because when you have a major tournament coming up and you're $100 million short in your budget, that tells a lot. But unfortunately, there is no time. So hopefully on Monday, we can, of course, talk about it, because this is very critical, because I know a country like Tanzania will be hoping to get some subvention from CAF, because this money was supposed to be subvention paid to the associations this year. But we heard that CAF has only paid 50% of that money, but sadly, there is no time. So I'd like to thank both of you for your insights on the show today. Kayode and James, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Femi.
Thank you, Femi.
Okay, so hopefully the Black Stars, of course, they'll still be are celebrating the qualification now, but there is so much work to do ahead. Ghana have some friendlies coming up. We'll be talking about that next week. So next week, Cameroon and Burundi. Cameroon also must get a point at least against Burundi to see their qualifications. Other qualifiers are also taking place this weekend and also next week. So we will know countries who have qualified for the AFCON. We'll be bringing all of those to you. We appreciate you so much for sticking with Nigeria Fans Forum wherever you are joining us from. I remain Ashalolu Afemi. We'll see you all next week. Bye for now.